Hello everyone and welcome to a bit late weekend video. I have of course worked on the next set, on the next thing, or rather I have reworked the set that I made last time. You might remember, or when you've not seen it you can watch it, the Goth Baddie set, which is intentionally what this is, or this was intended to be what I made now. Explanation for those who didn't see the last video: I am running a D&D campaign and I am making the art for some of the NPCs, for some of the more important NPCs, at least the recurring ones. I'm running Strixhaven with a magic focused background and cast, and I wanted to do an Orzhov character, a Karlov character, and I failed on the first try, so I did it again. Oops, I did it again, I guess. And this one is more in line with what the Orzhov actually looked like. So I looked at the original Orzhov pictures from 2005, and I looked at the later installations of Ravnica and the guild, and I came up with basically this piece, which takes on some elements that we've seen before. For example, the very first, like the very one of the first characters that we know was Karlov, and the very first card from her has like a really big cleavage window, I think it is called, with the Orzhov sun symbol thingy. So I try to like make that, and yeah, this is basically what this two-piece came to be. It is like a very open shirt, like with a big cleavage, and then over it a vest that has the cleavage window with the sun. So basically the Karlov / Orzhov thing that you see actually in quite a few artworks. Many of the characters wear the symbol at least, and Taser is repeatedly shown with the big cleavage window. So I just was like, okay, I'm gonna steal that idea because I really like it. And yeah, this is basically why this is a two-piece top. I then looked around and added like a few details so that this is a bit, there's like a bit more visual flair to it. Like it's not just like two pieces on top of each other. So I added this little diamond shape, and then like a clasp that holds rings. This is basically just like, it doesn't have a function, it's just some visual flair. So you have something that catches the eye, some details that you can grab and put on the whole thing. Yeah, the leather cap I'm currently working on relatively simple. And then I looked at all the pieces I already made. I have like this one file where I have a lot of different chains, or chain links, and other details on there, which I just like add to randomly add to stuff. Like there's runes, and there similar stuff that I just use every now and then when I do some high fantasy style stuff. The first iteration was like the chain going from the left to the right over the torso, but this was like when I looked at this, I felt this was too symmetrical actually, so I later changed it. Right now I'm making the little metal studs that like keep this thing together. So basically open the studs and then you can like unhook the chain, I guess. But yeah, basically the first iteration that I had here was too realistic, or too symmetrical, so I cut this up. And yeah, I'm making the first UV maps already for the top, for the shirt. So I have the whole thing set up. basically after I made the whole thing, after I made all the UV maps, after the whole thing was finished, I decided to change the whole setup a tiny bit, so the chain is off center, which just gives it a bit more visual flair. I'm not really sure if you actually see it at the render at the very end. I mean, it is kind of there, but it is just a smaller detail, which is fine. But yeah, you can see me like change the order of the whole thing, of the whole ensemble. And that is the first part. The second part is a very, very relatively simple pair of pants. Interesting thing, like most of the Orzhov characters, like a lot of them are clerics in a sense, and most of them have like clerical vestments, like long dresses, which is why I had the emphasis on the long dress in the first one, in the first iteration of this. And interestingly, the only character that has a different style and clothing in the Orzhov, or one of the characters that we see, is Karlov again. She, like a lot of the artworks, she wears pants, sometimes with a bit of like drape, clothes draped over them or something, but usually she has pants on in many of the pictures that show her. So I thought, well, if this character is a Karlov and she kinda aspires to be like her great aunt, I guess, I actually have to ask the player if how their relation to Taser is, if they're like related by blood, or how they're related by blood, if they know her or not. But yeah, basically I have to, basically I was like, okay, this character, well, for one, she's a teenager, this character specifically that I'm working on, and she, I guess, looks up to the original Karlov in a sense. So I thought she is probably also like wearing something better suited for school. So yeah, I came up with the whole style. The side style is actually something that you also see on Taser, but also on some other characters, like these let's call them hip epaulets, like I don't know, some flair where you have this sun style symbol again, that is kind of the Orzhov symbol, like a sun with differently lengthened but still symmetrical spikes on the side. So I try to emulate that as well in the pants. And overall, I really like how the whole thing turned out. Like, it looks way better, way more than the character I had envisioned. And so I'm gonna yeah, use that. Also, I showed it to the player and he was like, yeah, this is more what I had in mind. So this is the version that we are going to keep for the campaign. And we'll see about how the whole thing comes up in the end. I still like the other version, but there is something missing. There is something that doesn't fit right with the same character. So I'll have to check it out and then see how this works out in the end. I gave her like this originally I wanted to give her a back and a 4-piece, so this is like a split up or a sectional skirt as well, but it felt a bit weird when I did the front part. Basically I copy pasted this one and checked it out over the front, and it felt a bit weird, a bit odd, so I basically decided I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna fit this again. But I do think that the last one I made looks a bit better with the with more spikes. Basically, it looks a bit more like a sun than the other ones on the side. But yeah, we live and we learn, and yeah, I'm happy with how this turned out. So I'm gonna keep this one around. Anyway, that's it for this video. I have a short video on Wednesday already prepared. I will upload it then. Until then, stay healthy, stay safe, enjoy the render that is coming up in a few seconds, and I will see you guys around.